What's up, this is Hambone, and this is my review of Knack for the PlayStation 4. What is Knack? Knack is a first-party game developed exclusively for the PlayStation 4 and had Mark Cerny working on the project, who has also worked on games in the past such as Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, Jak and Daxter, and Ratchet and Clank. Aesthetically, the game isn't going to leave you jaw-dropped, but the art style is very nice to look at. It is very cartoony, and the world that you will visit is full of many different colors. They also help keep the background of the world that you are playing fresh by changing up the location of where you are playing every 3 to 4 levels, which gives you something new and nice to look at about every 40 minutes to an hour or so. The setting of Knack is set in an alternate Earth where the planet is populated by humans and goblins. The power source for this world are these ancient objects called relics, and Knack himself is a living collection of these relics. The story itself is very entertaining though. It is very predictable, and you won't be coming away from this game with your mind blown by some unexpected twist. The best comparison I can give you for this story, without giving anything away, is imagine that you were playing an Indiana Jones movie with Knack thrown in as the main character. Though while I do believe you should find the story enjoyable while you go through the game, some of the one-liners are quite bad, and you will find some of the writing for it to be quite cliche. Though this game is directed at children, so this is to be expected.
Cool!
Ooh, I'm getting chills.
The first thing I want to say about the gameplay is that for a game that I thought was going to be more platforming heavy, this is an area that is a bit of a letdown. The platforming that is in this game is nothing more than just double jump up these objects until you get to the top. The platforming is very simple and can only recall 1 or 2 sections that required any kind of precision jumping to complete a section. And I believe that they missed quite a lot of sections that could have been nice platforming areas by just having a cutscene of Knack going through these areas. The combat was a pleasant surprise. While at its core the combat is very simple, being nothing more than a triple attack with a square and a jump attack plus his 3 specials, the fun comes from having to deal with the different enemy types which will change up quite regularly throughout the game, whether it be a different faction of enemies or a new type of enemy in that faction. The challenge of the game actually comes from learning the different patterns of the enemies you are facing and figuring out when openings will open up. The game can be quite difficult as well, because when you get a bunch of different acting enemies on screen and you have to deal with all their patterns at once, it can be quite a challenge, especially since you can die in 2 or 1 hits when you are a smaller Knack, though you have unlimited lives and checkpoints are quite often. And speaking of health for Knack, he gains health by collecting relics and getting bigger, which not only gives him more health, but it makes his attacks become stronger as he gets bigger. Knack can also combine with other things besides relics, such as ice to become an ice Knack, which can be melted in the sun, wood to become wood Knack, which can be caught on fire, metal to become metal Knack, which can be affected by magnets, and huge relics to become what I like to call Mega Knack, because he reminds me of a Megazord from Power Rangers, but instead of being controlled by 5 teenagers in spandex, Knack alone is in control. Lastly, there is quite a bit of replayability. Throughout the game you will find hidden parts to collect to create gadgets, which will help you on your journey, and you can find special crystals as well, which leads to Knack becoming a special type of Knack with special abilities, which can be played as throughout the entire game once unlocked. Though to unlock all these forms you will have to play through the game more than once to collect the needed crystals. Also, there is a Coliseum type mode that is unlocked when you beat the game, where you can compete against waves of enemies, and while this can be a little boring after playing it for a while, it is definitely something that you can lose some time with when you are done with the main story. So should you get this game? I think the answer is yes. While this game is no Game of the Year contender, it is very fun and it is something that you could put some time into when you need a break from the more serious games that you play. At the very least, I recommend that you rent this game just to give it a try, and I find it very hard to see someone just hating this game unless you just hate 3D action games in general. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like. I also have a Resogun review going up tomorrow, and a Killzone Shadowfall review going up sometime later this week. I also ask that if you like the review, be sure to check out the rest of my channel. If you like what you see, be sure to subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.